Hi. I hate Lucius the Eternal. I hate Lucius the Eternal. I hate Lucius the Eternal. This guy. I hate him as a character. I hate where he stands in the lore. I just want better for the Emperor's children. I think he is such a waste of space, and there are so many more interesting ideas that can... One sec. I have pills to take. Okay. Now that my normal laid-back disposition has been achieved through the usage of heavy sedatives and me punching my pillow until it resembled Sanguinius after a polite conversation with Horus's mace, I am, in fact, ready to discuss the lore behind this puke stain. I can't convey it in a way that doesn't make me sound like a raving lunatic, at least in a way that is succinct. So to give you an idea, let's hit a few main points. 4 Chaos Gods at the end of the Horus Heresy chose a mortal champion, someone that represents their will more than anyone else, but does not entirely desire demonhood for whatever reason. For Khorne, it was Cairn, the equerry of the World Eaters, and a man so permanently stuck in a mood that can only be described as fuck-ass mad that just being near him can cause you to become a frothing berserker. Known as the Betrayer because when he saw his legion doing tactics that he deemed uncornly, he burned them the fuck alive. Then you have Typhus, originally known as Callus Typhon, was the Death Guard's main man, and is one of, if not the main reason they fell to chaos. He is an exemplar of filth and disgust, currently waging wars for his own reasons. Host to the parasite that was one of the reasons the Legion fell, the Destroyer Hive. He's universally hated in his Legion, but is still useful to Nurgle. To give you an idea of how dangerous this man is, if you were within about 10 kilometers of him, your health insurance premiums automatically just start going up without anyone's alert. Then you have Achek Ahriman, the chosen of Tzeentch, and a big fucking nerd, is currently on the hunt for the Black Library, the largest repository of knowledge in all the universe, to reverse a curse that he evoked on his legion as a last-ditch effort to save them from a fate that he saw as worse than death. And then you have Lucius, whom was chosen as the champion of Slaanesh because he died in a fight, and Slaanesh thought he did it well. So Slaanesh said, and I quote, here's a do-over, and gave him his weird immortality powers. Before I get too far ahead of myself, who exactly is this nutjob? If you couldn't tell by the bright pink and black armor and shit personality, he's a member of the Emperor's Children, and is actually one of the only remaining members from the days of the Great Crusade, almost 10,000 years ago. If I remember correctly, him, Fabius Bile, and Fulgrim are the only ones left, with him and Fabius being the only mortal ones left. Though I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. There's a loyalist son of Horus that was discovered in the lore in the, last 10 years, so who knows. Basically, while it was the era of the Great Crusade, Lucius was known as a child prodigy, a master swordsman that had the misfortune of being born on Chemos of all places, albeit born after they had the Forever King that revolutionized all resource gathering, but I digress. Joined the Emperor's Children, which is very appropriate, because if I could use a one word to describe Lucius, it would be child. He's always whinging and complaining about every little thing, and he just wants to go play sword fight like a big boy with everybody around him. Also, had an issue, weirdly enough, with the fact that he had a very cute face. I mean, the entirety of the Emperor's Children were a bunch of pretty boys, but Lucius, for some reason, was especially pretty, to the point where Saul Tarvitz, another captain from the Emperor's Children, remarking that he always looked like a young boy rather than a grown man. Let me just give you an idea of how I think an exchange went down between them. Hey, Lucius. Looking especially cute today, eh? I'm not cute! Fuck you! Okay, that may have been a bit of a hyperbole, but he did have that energy. He hated being called cute so much that he started to mutilate his own face. Okay, I mean, there were other factors that played into it, mostly some Chad named Garviel kicked his ass from pillar to post, but aside from that, he's just a whiny brat. After going from Fabio to Freddy Krueger, he became a Slaneshi champion. Yes, I know there were steps in between, but it doesn't matter, to be honest. Let's just get to why he's a weird, methed out albino meatball. In modern time, the Emperor's children are kind of an embarrassed husk of what they once were. So when they don't get into glorious combat for too long, they start to host these blood tournaments for their own entertainment. And now our boy Lucius is the greatest there ever was. Never lost a single duel except for the time he did. Yeah, he lost. Remember how I mentioned earlier that he died so well that Slanesh made him a champion? Yeah, that's what happened. He died, and Slanesh was like, fuck, I like that one. As a bit of a goof, Slanesh decided to make a curse specifically tailored for Lucius. It's kind of the only cool thing about Lucius. At least, at first it was. Where if you killed Lucius and took pleasure in it at all, or felt any positive emotions about killing him, you were then cursed to slowly become Lucius. Your face eventually melting into his armor, which is called the Armor of Shrieking Souls. Which is kinda cool. It's also very Slaneshi. Sadly, they fuck it up by not defining the boundaries of it and not giving good scale for what it can actually get done. So thanks to a story that involved a guy by the name of Toby, we found out that in fact he does not need to even see the guy who killed him. Poor old Tobias was a metal fabrication worker in some plant millions of light years away who made the landmine that killed Lucius once. He didn't know who Lucius was, but because he took pride in his work, he eventually doubled over in pain, and guess who popped out? Other than that, every single ability and power he has is kinda lame. The Armor of Shrieking Souls, good example, has the faces and souls of every single person he's ever died to. It can scream really, really loud and kill people with it. That's it. Big deal. Cairn can do that with a modified helmet speaker and a lot of gusto. He also has a fleshy whip attached to his other hand that is controlled by a demon of some sort, so it moves on its own. Oh, wow. You have a sword in one hand and a living whip in the other. That's so fucking uncommon. I love how this guy is touted as a master swordsman, like that matters in the 40k world. I will say, it's probably true. He's probably amazing at sword fighting. But here's a little bit of a newsflash. Literally everyone in the 40k universe is a master swordsman. Kato Sicarius has a pretty cool sword. Heard he's done good things with it. Garen Crow has a sword possessed by a demon so powerful that the Grey Knights can barely use it, and he kills greater demons on the regular. You know what the difference between these guys and Lucius is? If they lose in a sword fight, they don't come back. So it makes them being masters a lot more significant and interesting. I just find his character to be so lame. It could be so much cooler. It's just another example of how GW can't write Slanesh and Slaneshi characters well. I seem to not be in the minority here. A lot of people really don't like this character, considering the main reaction in lore is the same as if they see him in like a novel, which is kill it, my Eldana! Okay, with that unhinged rant out of the way, I'm done yelling about this freak. I have other topics to cover. I hope it was entertaining, and if you think so, let me know what you think in the comments. I want to know what you genuinely think about Lucius. Is he as hated as I'm seeing? Because I know that there's like a lot of skew for specific forums, so like I don't know what the genuine opinion is. I just go off of what I've seen. This is my opinion though. I just don't like him, and his model looks terrible. I know it's going to get an update, but like, you know, don't forget to like and subscribe. I try to post pretty often, as you probably noticed if you've been here for a while. And the next Emperor's Children character I cover is going to be a lot more interesting and significantly more gross. it's Fabius Bile. I'm just covering hi. This is post-video Arthur, just, doing my thing, doing my little wrap-up. There's a lot of stuff that I wanted to cover with Lucius, but it's all just... it doesn't matter. Like, I could cover that, like, the main sword that he uses is the Layer Blade, the sword that corrupted Fulgrim. I believe to this day, like, it's still the same sword, but it's, like, missing the demon juice that corrupted Fulgrim. And there's a bunch of minor stuff, but I just wanted to make a funny video. I don't like Lucius, but I can't hate a character as much as I did in this video. Thank you for watching. I'm looking forward to the next video. I got a few in mind right now, and I'm working on them, but yeah, thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you all next time.